Hey everyone, welcome back to this video, and it's going to be covering on making our update form component. And it's going to be a component because it's just going to be a small field, right, of inputs where we would want it to come out here. So later on we're going to add the update button, and then once we click the update button, what we want is this to drop down, and then we are going to have our edit fields just appear just like that. That way we could just edit and then click submit or edit, and then you'll see this part just re-render, and it'll re-render to the new edit or the updated request. Okay, so let's get started. So let's go back here, and what we're going to do here is we are going to go to our components folder and then just make a new file, and in the file we're going to call it update form, okay, .js, just like that. So now we're going to use our RFCE, and then let's get started. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our Axios to get the API, as well as use effect and use state. So since we have it here, we can just copy and paste it. If you want, you can definitely, I would recommend manually adding it as well. Okay, so once we have that, let's just make a const for our use state, and then we'll call it blogs. Okay, and then set blogs, just like that, and then equals use state to the array, because remember, once again, we're getting the array. Now what we're going to do now is similar to this. We are going to use effect to fetch the blogs. That way we can refetch it, and then we are going to define the fetch blogs. Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to do use effect, just like that, and then make the function. Inside we're going to say fetch blogs as normal, and then let's define the variable fetch blogs, right? So we're going to do const fetch blogs equals, and then make the function just like that. And now we are going to use Axios to get the information that's in our handy dandy Postman path here. Okay, Postman, copy and paste it into here. Then we want to render that response to our console.log, and then res.data. That way we can see if it's working. Sorry, we're going to use. So next we want to set it to our blog. So blogs, and then res.data. We want to save the information there. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So now that we have that, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to make a handle update, and the handle update is for our form, right? So we're gonna do const. Okay, so we have const, and then we have handle update, just like that, equals, and then you make the function just like that. Okay, and then this is when we're going to use our put request. Okay, so we are going to enter Axios dot not get, not post, not delete, this time put, right, just like that. So we are going to use the backticks, and then we are just going to take this here and then just paste it in just like that. Okay, so now we are just going to add or manipulate it. That way we just go for the ID and then money sign ID. Okay, just like that, and then come, and then we are going to pretty much use kind of what we did with the posting. We're gonna add the title, the post, and the preview. So let's go add that. We have the title, preview, and post. Post, just like that. Okay, perfect. So now last thing is we are going to let's just do that. That looks a little weird, so this is not supposed to be there, this is supposed to be here. Okay, so now that we have that, we're just going to then pass it here, and then we are going to call this here on update. Okay, and then we're going to call it just like on update, and then we are going to call it just like this. Then of course with everything we want to make sure that there are any errors. So error, pass it through, console.log unable to update blog, just like that. Okay, perfect. So now we have this done, we're pretty much good to go. But as we did with our create a blog, it's kind of like the same thing. We're taking the form, we want to make our form here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to make the form as well. So just come down here, and then we don't need the update form because it's not really going to make a difference really if it comes up or not here. So just make sure everything's good here. Okay, so actually you don't really need a form if you don't want to use it. So we'll just not make the form. So we'll just make it a just the inputs. Okay, so the inputs we have are just going to be input, just like that. And then we want the same field, so we'll just do this. We'll just go back to create a blog and then just use the same class names. That way everything's kind of the same here. Okay, did I do this? Okay, perfect. So it'll be here. Okay, just like that. So now what we want to do is we want to make the text area where we are going to be inputting the text area as well. But before that, because we want to make different fields, so we'll make this for the title, and then this for the preview if you want to change the preview. Oops, I cannot spell today. Okay, and then we're gonna have for the text area. Okay, so we have for that, and then the text area. I added the T in the in the area instead of the text. Okay, cool. So now once we have that, what we're gonna do here is we of course want to make sure everything's good. So let's just take a look real quick here. So we want to pass in as well our const because we want to store those values, right? So we're going to do the same thing, title, and then set title. And I know you can pass them as props as well, but for this tutorial, we're just going to write everything over, and also helps with muscle memory. That way we know how to make these. Okay, so use state, and then the same thing here, and then const preview set preview. Okay, equals use state and quotes. Okay, and then const post set post, just like that. Equals use state, and then perfect. So we have that here. Okay, so now we just want to make sure everything's good. So we have our title and our preview and our posts or our blogs. Okay, so now let's just double check here. We have our title, preview, and then our text area. And our text area is going to be the same as this one here. So we'll just go to where are you? Okay, text area. Actually, let me just do this. I don't want to take the whole thing and then get confused afterwards. So I'm going to make the text area self-enclosing, and then we're going to make the class. Oh, the class was already made, so just like that. Now we should have the whole field there. Okay, well, perfect. So the next thing is similar to what we did with the created in the blog and the input fields. We're going to type these in. We're going to pretty much do the same thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the title, the preview, and the preview title, and the blog or the post. So let's get right back in. So we have So we're going to do this a little faster. So what we're going to do here is just option, option, and just leave option press, and then you can click. Remember, simultaneously. And then we are going to make this type. We're going to say text. Okay. Drop down to the next one. Placeholder. If you want to make a placeholder, you can make it a placeholder as well. So enter title edit here. We'll say, okay. And then next we want the value. We want this to be a title. All right. So after the title, of course, we want our on change. So we want take our event and set it to our stored value. So title. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to put inside is the e.target.value, because we're going to be grabbing it, right? Target.value. Okay, just like that. So let's go and just fix this up here. So we want this here. We want preview. And then as I mentioned before, this, since it's a text array, this doesn't need a text here. And then we can go back to preview, change that to preview. Take this out to preview and with a little p. Okay. And let's change this here to post, and then this as well to post. Okay. So always double check your work just to make sure it's right. So let's take a look. So we have title, type is a text, placeholder, enter title, edit here, value title, and then on change event. We're storing it into the title, and then e.target.value. Okay, so this is good to go. We have the input type text, placeholder, preview, edit here, value is the preview, and on change e set preview, storing it in the set preview, and an e.target.value. Perfect. So we have placeholder, we don't need the type, placeholder, enter post, edit here. We have the post, and we have e set post, e.target.value. Perfect. Awesome. So lastly, what we have, what we're going to use is the button. So let's just make this here, and let's just actually use this because it's giving us already the breaks, and we're just going to, okay, where is that? Sorry, let's just fix this up a bit here. Okay. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So now that we have, and the reason why it's not rendering anywhere is right now is just because we don't have it like we have it here, like with our nav bar in our app. Where's our app? Oh, we took it out. But in our app, we had it. We had our nav bar imported there, so that's why it's not coming up. But if we wanted to, what we can easily just do is we can just go into our blog profile, since that's where we want it to come up, and then just import it. Import. It was import update form. Okay, let's just copy and paste that here. And then what we want is we want to import it from components, and then import form, update form. Okay. So now this should go away. Error can't resolve, update form. Okay, why are you giving me an error here? Why are you giving me an error here? It's because it's 2. Should be 2. So the next thing that we are going to do here is we're just going to add for the click here for the handle update on our button. So we have the button, and then we have on click. So we're going to add the, instead of type submit, we are just going to take this out, and then we are going to type in on click. Okay, on click, and then we're going to say handle update. Just like that. Okay, perfect. So now this should be good, and we're just going to try to render it into our blog in a moment here. So that's for our updating form here. All right, so we pretty much have that good to go, and the next video is most likely going to be the last one, and it's going to just be rendering our component into our blog profile. So I'll see you in a bit.